When I first met INSCOPE during the interview process by video, I was impressed with their excitement and with their very tantalizing and simple idea which really could have a major impact on patient care throughout the country, in fact worldwide. And I wasn't disappointed when I met them in person. They're two principals who I've been delighted to work with and to discuss their issues with, have been absolutely scintillating in their passion and their dedication and their total focused commitment to bringing a very imaginative and simple device to enable safer and better patient care, both in the hospital as well as in emergency services throughout the region. And so I'm really delighted to introduce INSCOPE to you all here this afternoon.
It's 11:30 on a busy Friday night. Dr. Mary Nan Mallory is working the night shift in the emergency department when a 29-year-old car accident victim is rushed in, unconscious and with dangerously low oxygen levels. The patient begins to vomit, and Dr. Mallory quickly realizes that she needs to intubate. Intubation is a life and death procedure. It's the process of inserting a breathing tube into the airway when a patient can't breathe for themselves. Dr. Mallory has done this procedure thousands of times over her 25-year career, and even for her, it's one of the scariest and most challenging procedures she does on a regular basis. There are 3 key tools that Dr. Mallory needs for intubation: a laryngoscope to open up the patient's airway and visualize the patient's vocal cords, a suction catheter to clear the patient's airway of secretions like blood, vomit, and saliva, and a breathing tube. That's 3 pieces of equipment and only 2 hands. With the laryngoscope in one hand, Dr. Mallory's other hand is forced to clumsily toggle between the suction catheter and the breathing tube as vomit keeps coming up. The patient's oxygen levels are dropping, and Dr. Mallory is acutely aware that with each passing second, she is increasing the risk of complications. I'm Maggie Galloway, CEO of INSCOPE Medical Solutions, and after my co-founder, Dr. Mary Nan Mallory, just barely saved this patient's life, we decided it was time for a better intubation solution. So we developed the INSCOPE, the first all-in-one intubation device. And there are 3 novel things about the INSCOPE that make it completely unique in the market. First, we have integrated suction into the laryngoscope to allow the clinician to clear the airway of secretions without that really clumsy toggle between the suction catheter and the breathing tube. This allows the clinician to maintain a clear view throughout the entire procedure. Second, the INSCOPE has a wireless camera that streams to a tablet or monitor. This allows the clinician to have a complete view of the airway and can allow a second clinician to watch the procedure to ensure that the breathing tube was placed properly and for teaching. And the entire device is disposable, eliminating the risk of infection. Now, the INSCOPE isn't just for emergency physicians. It's for all of the practitioners who perform the 50 million intubations that occur globally each year. Because intubation is challenging in all settings, from the ambulance, to the ER, to the ICU, to the operating room, and can cause dangerous complications like tissue damage, infection, brain damage, and even death. Last week, emergency physicians from the University of Louisville tested our device in fresh tissue cadavers. And with no training, they were able to reduce their time to successful intubation by 21%. All of the physicians reported that the INSCOPE would significantly improve patient care and that they would choose the INSCOPE over the existing device every time. So how is this different than what's on the market today? Physicians currently have 2 options when they need to intubate. Traditional direct laryngoscopes. This device has remained largely unchanged since it was invented in 1913. It makes up about 70% of intubations today. And video laryngoscopes, which make up about 30% of intubations today. Video laryngoscopy provides a better view of the airway and is safer for patients in all settings, but the market leaders in this space cost up to $25,000, which means it's unaffordable to have in all settings. At a price point of just $100 per device, not only is the INSCOPE a far superior technology, but it makes that video laryngoscope technology affordably accessible to have on every ambulance, next to every ER bed, on every crash cart, and in every OR around the world. Through this accelerator program, we have set up our first clinical study at Cedars-Sinai that will commence in September. Laryngoscopes are FDA Class 1 devices, the same classification as a tongue depressor or Band-Aid, which means we have a very short regulatory path to market. The first version of the INSCOPE will be ready for market later this year, and that cannot come quick enough. We have many hospitals and physicians who can't wait to start using the INSCOPE. We are happy to announce that in addition to Cedars-Sinai, 15 hospitals and EMS systems in our target geographic regions of Louisville, our hometown, and Los Angeles, our home away from home, have all signed on as beta testing partners. Now, the incredible thing about this technology is that it doesn't just apply to the $2 billion laryngoscope market. Our vision is to become the IoT platform for imaging devices. We're developing out this hardware and software for the laryngoscope, and from there we'll develop out other low-cost disposable imaging devices that all connect into one easy-to-use platform for a total addressable market of $10 billion. We've got an incredible team that's dedicated to realizing this vision. As CEO, my background is in health insurance as an innovation consultant for Humana. Adam is an engineer and serial entrepreneur, and Dr. Mary Nan Mallory has over 25 years of experience practicing emergency medicine and sits on the American Board of Emergency Medicine. Now, I truly hope that none of you are ever in a situation where you need to be intubated. But if you are, let's make sure that the clinician in charge of saving your life has the tools that she needs. Let's make sure she's got the INSCOPE. So if you're interested in learning more or want to come see the device in person, please come find us after the presentations. Thank you.